Hello students, today I am going to solve the problems that I have given in the test conducted in the other day. Obviously there will be 10 problems were given. I hope you have attended the problems and solved it correctly. Now we are going to solve each of those problems one by one. The first problem, it has been already solved in a previous videos. I will provide you the link and without wasting any time, so we will move further. The second problem has also been solved. The link will be provided in the iCard given above. Similarly, the 18th problem, it is also solved one. Follow the link given in the iCard. It is also given in the description box. Now we are going to solve the 19th problem. So where we need to find out the effective capacitance between the two points. So how do we going to solve it? First, the actual circuit should be redrawn. The 2 microfarad capacitors are connected in series. So it will be drawn like this. Two microfarad and 2 microfarad. So they are connected in series, and 1 microfarad is connected in parallel to the series combination of the other. These 2 points are represented as X and Y. First, we have to combine these 2 capacitors in a given branch. Obviously, since they are equal and in series, the effective capacitance of these 2 will be equal to how much? C by 2. That will be equal to 2 by 2 microfarad, or it will be equal to 1 microfarad. Then the circuit will be reduced like this, X and Y. 1 microfarad here, the series combination of these 2 will be equal to again 1 microfarad. Then we need to combine these 2 which are connected in parallel. So 1 plus 1. So therefore the effective capacitance between X and Y, I will write it as a CXY, that will be equal to 1 plus 1 microfarad. Since the questions were objective type, therefore we can directly write it. Otherwise, so we have to redraw the diagram, then we have to write this value, so which will be represented as C dash, that will be represented as C dash, or since they are in series, they will be represented as CS, and the value of CS will be equal to, we should write the formula. I will represent it as a C1, this will be represented as C2, the third one will be represented as C3. So for CS will be equal to series combination of C1 and C2. So therefore it will be equal to this much. Then substitute the values here. So we will get 2 microfarad into 2 microfarad divided by 2 plus 2. I will directly write it as 4 microfarad. Obviously 2 into 2 will be equal to 4. This 2 and on the numerator 2, they will cancel each other, and also 1 microfarad. So it will cancel each other. So for remaining one will be 1 microfarad. So that was the answer. Then in the final step, when we combine these 2, CXY will be equal to, again it is the parallel combination of these 2, C3 and CS. So for CXY will be equal to CS plus C3. Then we substitute the values. So which will be equal to 1 microfarad plus 1 microfarad, or that will be equal to 2 microfarad. So this is the answer. Hope you have understood this. Let's move on to the next question. In the question number 20, there will be 100 capacitors. Each are having the capacity of 10 microfarad. And when they are connected in parallel, then we need to find out the energy stored in the combination of all those 100 capacitors when they are connected to a potential difference of 100 kV. First we have to picturize this. So there will be 100 capacitor, 1, 2, 3 lines. It will be represented by dotted line. So then 100. So total 100. Each will be equal to C. So there will be 100 capacitors, each of value equal to C, where C is equal to 10 microfarad. Then it will be connected across a potential difference of, they are connected in parallel. So there will be 100 of them like this. In between there will be 100 of capacitors. So then the potential difference will be represented as, I will represent it as a V, which will be equal to how much? It will be 100 kilovolt. Now we need to find out the total energy stored. The expression for determining the total energy will be equal to U, that will be equal to, in general, if there is a capacitor of capacitance C connected across a potential difference of V, then total energy will be equal to how much? Half C square. So this is the required expression. But here, instead of a single capacitor, we have parallel combination of 100 capacitors. If I take Cp as the effective capacitance of this parallel combination of 100 capacitors, so then total energy stored will be equal to half Cp into V square. Because across each of the capacitors, same potential difference will appear. So for that reason, we can calculate the value of Cp and we can directly write the value of Cp, since each of them will be having the same capacitance. Since there are n number of capacitors which is equal to 100, what is the effective capacitance? It will be n into C, or that should be equal to 100 into 10 microfarad, which is equal to 10 raised to minus 6 farads. Okay, or that will be equal to how much? 100 into 10 raised to 4 into 10 raised to minus 6, or that will be equal to 10 raised to minus 2 farads. That's the value of Cp. Similarly, Cv can be expressed in SI units as 100 10 raised to 2 into kilo 10 raised to 3, which will be equal to 10 raised to 5 volt. Now we are going to substitute that here. Therefore, it will be equal to half into Cp, that will be equal to 10 raised to minus 2 into Cv 10 raised to 5, then square. So therefore, it will be equal to 10 raised to minus 2 into 10 raised to plus 10, or that will be equal to, I will write it here, half into 10 raised to plus 8. Since it is an energy, it will be expressed in joules. But instead of writing this as a 10 raised to 8, I will write 10 raised to plus 8 as 10 into 10 raised to 7. That will be equal to 10 into 10 raised to 7. But once we split the value of 10 raised to 8 as 10 into 10 raised to 7, so we have to multiply it with half, or we have to divide it with 2. So therefore, 10 by 2 will be equal to 5. So the answer is 5 into 10 raised to 7 joules. The next question. Consider a parallel plate capacitor of 10 microfarad. So with air filled between the gap, then if the space is completely filled with a dielectric constant of 4, then what should be the capacity of the capacitor? Initially, the capacitance of the capacitor is represented as C, and it will be equal to, the value is given, which will be equal to 10 raised to 10 into 10 raised to minus 6 microfarad, 10 microfarad. Then the space between the two plates was completely empty. So we know that for a parallel plate air capacity, free space or the air almost treated as the same. So therefore, air capacitor means it is almost a free space. So therefore, for a air capacitor, the capacitance will be given by the general expression in terms of its geometrical configuration, like size and the distance of separation. How do we write it? It will be equal to epsilon of A divided by D, where A is the area cross section of the each plate and D is the distance of separation. So this is the value for capacitance obtained by using this equation. So this will be equal to 10 into 10 raised to minus 6, or I will just write as 10 microfarad. Then the space between the same capacitor is completely filled with the dielectric medium of dielectric constant 4. So here the value of K is represented as 4. Now, same capacitor without changing its geometrical configuration, we have completely filled it with a dielectric medium. Then with the dielectric, the expression for the capacitance will be represented as epsilon, so which is the permittivity of the given medium, into A by D. We are not changing the value of A, only the permittivity has been changed. And we know that the permittivity of the given medium will be equal to K times the permittivity of the free space, which is equal to K, epsilon will be equal to K into epsilon naught, into remaining term A by D. But we know that this term which is written in the bracket is nothing but C, epsilon naught A divided by D, which is nothing but 10 microfarad. Hence, substituting the value, CD must be equal to K into C. You will get it will be equal to 4 into 10 microfarad or 40 microfarad. Let's move on to the next problem. So here, sorry, I am rubbing it very quickly. So this is a video lecture. Obviously, you can pause the video anywhere you want. I am not going to waste the time. So it should consume less memory in your device. So that's why I am doing it fast. But you can pause it anywhere you want. The next question, 22nd question. Water molecule has an electric dipole moment 6 into 10 raised to minus 30 centimeter when it is in a vapor state. The distance in meter between the center of positive and negative charge of the molecule is. So, I am sorry that the options that were given in the test were wrong. All the options. So, for the options of some other questions has appeared in this question also. But we will solve this. How to find out the answer? The dipole moment has been given, P, which is given by the expression 2A into P. So this is the dipole moment of the water molecule when it is in a vapor state. That means a single molecule can exist here as a vapor, and its value is given as 6.4 into 10 raised to minus 30 units. So that is, units means distance into charge. So therefore, it will be represented as coulomb meter. So that's the unit. And also it is not centimeter, cm. It should be capital C. So in the question, it appears as a small c. That's wrong. It should be capital C, coulomb per meter. So make the necessary corrections. Now we need to find out the distance of separation between the two molecules. So that means we need to find out the value 2A, not A, 2A. How do we do that? We have to substitute the value of Q in the above equation. We already know the value of P. So then we can find out the value of 2A. So where 2A will be is equal to P by Q. So how do you find out the value? Water molecule is made up of 2 atoms of hydrogen and 1 atom of oxygen. Okay. Now, how many protons and electrons are present in hydrogen? I am asking about the number of charges present. Either you can take the number of protons or the electrons. So just consider the atomic number itself, which gives the number of charges present. Neutron not interested, only charged particles. So hydrogen contains one proton and one electron each. So therefore, since there are two hydrogen, so therefore there will be two charges, two electrons are present in hydrogen and two protons are present. Molecule of oxygen, it will contain 8 charged particles, 8 protons, 8 electrons. So therefore total together there will be 10 charged particles. So the value of n will be is equal to 10. Hence the value of q will be is equal to n into e, charge possessed by each electron. We are going to substitute that here. So that will be is equal to P is equal to 6.4 into 10 raised to minus 30 divided by Q, which will be is equal to N 10 into E, charge of the electron, 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 90. And it is very simple. So 1.6 ones are 1.6, 1.6 4 times are 6.4. Okay. Then 10 into 10 raised to minus 19, it will be is equal to 10 raised to minus 18. When it goes to the numerator, it becomes 10 raised to plus 8. So therefore 2a will be is equal to how much? 4 into 10 raised to minus 30 plus 18. So therefore 10 raised to minus 12. It is 10 raised to minus 12 meters. That's it. This is the distance of separation between the center of positive charge and the negative charge, plus q and minus q. Let's move on to the next problem. The two positive point charges, 12 microcoulomb and 5 microcoulomb, are placed at a distance of 10 centimeter in L. Obviously, it should be in L. The work needed to bring them 4 centimeter closer is. Students, just carefully read the question. You will understand. So, what they have asked and what you need to find out. The first, visualize the problem. There are two positive charges. One is Q1, other one is Q2. Let's assume that, so this Q1 is equal to 12 microcoulomb and the Q2 will be equal to 5 microcoulomb. The distance of separation between them, so that will be equal to, I will represent it as an x, which is equal to 10 centimeter. Okay. Now we need to find out how much work has been done if we need to bring them 4 centimeter closer. Again, for our convenience, we can assume that, so this Q1, the position of the Q1 will be fixed. We are moving the Q2 towards the Q1, closer. That means we have to move them towards each other. So we are moving the Q2. How much? We are bringing them 4 centimeter closer. Earlier they will be separated by a distance of 10 centimeter. Now we are moving them by 4 centimeter. So here, I will represent this distance as x, which is equal to 4 centimeter. Now what is the separation between the two, Q1 and Q2? It is equal to d minus x. D minus x. That is equal to 6 centimeter. Now we need to find out how much work has been done in order to move charge from initial position to the final position. How do we do that? We will find out the potential at this point and the potential at these two points, initial position and the final position, and we are going to take the difference between them. Then we are going to multiply with the charge which has been moving from one point to the another point. Since this point is at higher potential compared to the other point which is further away, forget about the presence of the Q2. We try to find out the potential at the final position, which is represented as V2 due to the Q1, and at the initial position, which will be represented as V1, which is due to the, again due to the Q1 only. Imagining that Q2 is not present in the picture, then the potential difference will be equal to how much? V. So this is higher, so therefore it will be represented as V2 minus V1. Since this position is closer, D minus X is smaller, that means closer to the Q1. Substitute the values of V1 and V2. In both, we need to consider the proportionality constant 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. Same. And also the charge, source charge is the same, which is Q1. I will write it here itself. But the distance are different. First, it will be D minus X, which is equal to how much? 1 divided by D minus X. Minus V1. So in which again Q1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught are the same. But distance is different, which is now D. I will write it as 1 by D. So this is the formula. So this is potential difference. If we need to find out the work done, we can use the expression work done will be is equal to Q into V, or V is equal to Q by, W by Q. Potential is equal to work done per unit charge. So this, we are using the definition of the potential. So therefore, using this, the work done will be equal to how much? I will write it here. Work done will be equal to Q into V, which is equal to, here the charge which is moved, test charge is Q2. So therefore, we have to multiply the potential difference with the test charge. I will write it here, Q2. Now substitute the values. It will be equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, 9 into 10 raised to 9 Q1. So that will be equal to 12 into 10 raised to minus 6 in SI units. Micro is equal to 10 raised to minus 6. Remaining one, so this is 1 divided by 0.6, or it will be equal to 1 divided by 0.6. Other one is 0.066 centimeters. Other one is minus 1 divided by 10 centimeter, which will be equal to 0.1 into Q2 equal to 5 into 10 raised to minus 6. I can write this as 6 into 10 raised to minus 2. So this is 10 into 10 raised to minus 2. I will take the 10 raised to minus 2 outside. 10 raised to minus 2 outside. So therefore it will become how much? 6 and 10. Take the LCM. I will do it right here. So therefore it will be equal to 9 into 6 into, so this 5 into, so remaining terms which will be equal to 10 raised to plus 9, 10 raised to minus 6, 10 raised to minus 6. This goes to the numerator, so therefore it will be again 10 raised to plus 2. 10 raised to 11 into 10 raised to minus 12, which will be equal to 10 raised to minus 1. Hope you can see that. Taking the LCM, it will be equal to, directly, it will be 6 into 10, 60. 10 minus 6, that will be equal to 4. Now, we can rearrange. So, sorry, I have written it as a 6. It will be 12. Okay. 12 into 5 is nothing but 60. They will cancel each other. Remaining term will be 4 into 9. So, for 4 into 9 will be equal to 36 into 10 raised to minus 1 or 3.6. Work done expressed in joules. 3.6 joules. So that will be the answer. I will move on. You can see this. You can take the screenshot also. Let's move on to the next. question. So here so there will be atomic nucleus with atomic numbers Z equal to 50 and its radius will be is equal to 9 into 10 raised to minus 13 centimeter. We need to find out the electric potential at the surface. We are going to imagine that so this nucleus will be in a shape of a sphere, spherical shape, and we can assume that all the charges will be concentrated at the center. So whatever may be the distribution, but according to the Gauss theorem, we can assume that if we consider any exterior point, we can assume that all the charges are concentrated at the center. So what is the total amount of charge? It will be equal to Q, and the radius represented as R. The potential at the surface, V surface. So that will be equal to how much? 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into Q divided by the radius, which is equal to R. And it will be same throughout inside the, it changes because, so this distribution of the charge will be different. It is not a conductor. So as we move towards the center, so potential will still increase. It will be more than V surface, but at the surface it will be equal to this much. Now we are going to substitute with the values. So 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon will be is equal to 10 into 10 raised to 9. Q will be is equal to how much? The number of protons present, charges present with the atomic number equal to 50. The number of protons is the number of charges. Z, it is nothing but Z into the charge of each electron. Substituting that, so we will get, it should be is equal to how much? Q will be equal to N into E, 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 9. Okay, divided by the distance or the radius which is given in centimeter. We have to convert that into SI unit, which is meter. So I will write just as 9. I will not write 9.0. 9 into 10 raised to minus 30 centimeter or 10 raised to minus 15 meters. So then, substituting that, this 9 and 9 will get cancelled. 10 raised to plus 9. 10 raised to minus 19. There is again 5 into 10. This 10 raised to minus 15, when it goes to the numerator, becomes plus 15. Therefore, the remaining term, it will be equal to 5. Instead of writing 50, I will write it as 5 into 10. Then it will be 5 into 1.6, which is nothing but 8 into 10 raised to 9 plus 1, 10 plus 15, 25 minus 90, which is equal to 10 raised to 6. 10 raised to 6, and voltage is expressed in volts. So this answer will be 8 into 10 raised to 6 volts. But since we are following the correct number of significant digits, if the answer, the two options are were given, like 8 into 10 raised to 6 volts and 8.0 into 10 raised to 6 volts, this should be the correct answer, even though mathematically they are the same. But this is correct in significant digits. This is also correct value, but not correct in significant digits. And the last question that is appearing on the above the board, so that is already solved. So it will be given the link for those problems, first 3 and the last one. So it will be either given in the icon or in the description box. So thank you for watching the video.